Yes, Elle. We all agree. All right, now for the answer to our trivia. Who was the first woman to appear on the front of a Wheaties box? It was Olympic gold medalist Mary Lou Retton in 1984. All right, let's get things rolling. Caleb Williams is the overwhelming favorite to go #1 in the draft, according to ESPN Bet. But it was actually Jayden Daniels who had the better statistical season last year. Daniels won the Heisman Trophy 1 year after Williams won the award. We got Kimberly here, we got Lewis Riddick here, and we got RC here. All right, I'm gonna start with you, RC. Who would you take at #1, Caleb Williams or Jayden Daniels?
First off, I want it to be Jayden Daniels. Jayden is absolutely a phenomenal young man.
You're LSU guy.
He's an LSU guy, but even more so, he committed to Arizona State the year my son did. So I got to know him, I got to be around him, just an amazing young man. And then what he did in transferring to LSU and winning the Heisman and having an absolute stellar year says all that you need to know about him to be able to make that adjustment and become the player that he's become. And I said all that because now I'm about to pick the other guy. Right? I believe that Caleb Williams should be the first pick. And I do believe that there is a discussion to be had, especially when you look at the way Jayden played last year. But I'm telling you guys, I got to see it in person. I got to see the way that Caleb Williams was head and shoulders beyond better than anyone else on the field, that when things would break down around him, it almost seems like he thrived in the chaos. He thrived under the pressure of the defensive line. He thrived when his wide receivers couldn't create separation because he was like, all right, if y'all don't want to do it, watch me. And I think what we forget about Caleb Williams is he's been this since the very first time we saw him. When he took over for Spencer Rattler his freshman year at Oklahoma, he was this dude. I'm not sure if anybody remembers the play. I think it was against KU. It's 4th down. They hand the football off to the running back. The running back is getting driven back into the backfield, and he just took the football from him. It was an Ed Reed sort of Boston College moment when he was like, you right, I run the football better than you anyway. Let me get that. When I look at the way he runs the football, you can add Jayden to this conversation as well. The only guy I'm going to take above him when it comes to being able to create with his legs on the next level is going to be Lamar Jackson. That's not a bad quarterback to fall behind there. And when you think about the level of arm talent that Caleb Williams has, I want you to think of Josh Allen. I want you to think of Patrick Mahomes. He can make any throw from any platform, from anywhere on the field. And that sort of talent is one you don't pass up at the #1 position, especially when he's been that since the first time you've seen him.
Yeah, I'm a big Caleb Williams fan. I think his skills absolutely are transferable to the NFL from day one. I think there are obviously refinements in terms of the kind of structure you want, or rather the kind of playing personality you want him to have. You want it to be more on time, more in rhythm. You want it to be more ordinary until he needs it to be extraordinary. Because you don't want him to have to live in an environment where the extraordinary becomes common, where it's every single play, it's I've got to be that guy because everything else around me is chaos. Because chaos in the NFL comes with much greater repercussions than chaos in college. Chaos in the NFL means Aaron Donald's hitting you in your neck, and next thing you know, you're over there on the sideline, and you're on IR for the rest of the year. You don't want that kind of chaos. Ask Bryce Young how that kind of chaos felt this year. You don't want that. So and I believe with structure, offensive coordinator, quarterback coach, quarterback room, offensive line, those kind of things that every single quarterback needs, even the great Patrick Mahomes has needed it, he's gotten it, and next thing you know, all that individual talent explodes through the roof, and we're sitting here redefining the position. Could that happen to Caleb? Absolutely. That being said, I think Jayden Daniels, what he has accomplished from his time at ASU, which I saw him also when he was a freshman. I remember doing a game, ASU versus Cal, out there in Berkeley. To now, the 2 years that he's been in LSU and the jump he has made from year 1 to year 2 at LSU, the kind of things he has dealt with, compartmentalized, and able to still stay on the straight and narrow in terms of his progression, in terms of like the things he's dealt with his personal life, not letting it affect anything that happens with him on the football field, and the way he has raised his game from one year to the next to where now, I will tell you what, RC, I'd push back on you in some respects in terms of his ability to be a dual threat passer and runner. Because you've seen the runs just as well as I have.
Right.
Jaden's
You've
crazy.
seen the runs against Missouri, against Florida, where I'm sitting there going, once he breaks the line of scrimmage on quarterback draw, quarterback power, counter, zone read, whatever it is, as a DB, I'm going, if I don't absolutely take the right angle, I'm going to be on SportsCenter tonight.
Yeah.
I'm going to be on SportsCenter tonight, and I'm going to be on Play One because I'm going to be tearing my hamstrings trying to make up for it because he's out the gate and he is gone.
Yeah.
On top of it, the structure with which he plays, the calmness with which he plays, the way he
different this
combines
year.
finesse with arm strength, it's just like, damn, I mean, where is it? He made some throws this year that I remember last year when I was watching C.J. Stroud, I'm going, that's it. But he's also showing the off-structure stuff that maybe C.J. Stroud didn't show until the CFP game against Michigan
Georgia.
last year, or against Georgia last year, rather. Jaden's already showing all of it. All of it. And so for me, I'm going, look, Caleb may be that guy who truly gets talked about like Patrick if he's able to refine a bunch of things. Jaden's that guy who's kind of like CJ, who's probably going to come into the NFL right away.
Play well right away.
And you're going to be like, exactly, where it's out the gate, man.
Yeah.
It's out the gate, and you're going, why are we even having the discussion? That's why I would take him number one.
Yeah, you know, you guys both make excellent points. When I think of Daniels, it is the size, speed, the burst, it's the deep ball accuracy downfield, it's the dynamic playmaking ability. When I think of Caleb, it seems, RC, to your point, it seems like he has everything that you want in a quarterback in one body, and it's special. When you some of the draft profiles that talk about Caleb, it's like watching a magician out there.
Yeah.
You know who else was called a magician? You know who else was described as like he is magic on a field? Bryce Young.
Yeah.
And I will stand here. I was a huge supporter of Bryce Young. Thought like the talent that he has, there is no way. I understand the size. I get it. It's like my size. I get it. But the talent that he has, it has to translate to the NFL. But for everything that you guys are talking about, it doesn't matter what skill set these guys have, because it really is about the organizations that they go to. And we understand in Washington, who we assume will take Caleb, they've got a new head coach who's been a previous head coach, but they have a first-time GM, and they have Cliff Kingsbury. They have to figure it out. They have to do right and put whichever quarterback they take, we assume Caleb, in the position to flourish. Don't know where Jaden's going to go. But again, I've seen what happened in Carolina. That's not just a Bryce Young issue. That's really, most of it's not Bryce Young. It's everything around him. So I cannot sit here today and say, oh, Caleb, easy. Jaden, easy. I think both of these guys will be tremendous. But Lou, it is about the organizations, and I've seen too many completely derail young quarterbacks who are talented.
I think that's with every young quarterback, and that's the big point about both of these young men. And I think it points to what Lewis said about structure. The structure in which you want Caleb Williams to play in makes a big difference, because we saw Jaden, especially last year at LSU, excel in the structure, and then when things break down, watched his elite level of talent outside of the pocket turn into production as well.
You said Caleb Williams reminds you of Lamar Jackson, correct?
No, I said he has that sort of talent running the football, and when you look at his arm talent, it is top tier to me.
Who would you compare Jaden Daniels to then?
Whew, that's a difficult. This is going to be a guy from back in the day. Jaden reminds me a lot of Randall Cunningham, a longer, thinner quarterback who can get outside the pocket and make plays, but could also push the football down the field.
Okay, I like that comparison. All right.
Xin chào tất cả các bạn đã quay trở lại với kênh YouTube của mình nha. Video ngày hôm nay mình sẽ hướng dẫn cho các bạn tô màu sao cho thật là đẹp. Và bây giờ các bạn hãy cùng đi theo mình nhé.